2.3.4 Leadership and Teamwork No Learning Objectives. This section considers how leadership can enable people coming together from different functions, disciplines and organizations to work with a common purpose, to deliver something of value to the investing organization. By the time you have studied this section, you will have completed the following: Learning Outcome Assessment Criteria. 10. Understand leadership and teamwork within a project. 10.1 Define the term leadership. 10.2 Explain how a project team leader can influence team performance. 10.3 Outline the challenges to a project manager when developing and leading a project team. 10.4 Outline how a project manager can use models to assist team development, including Belbin and Tuckman. The term leadership is described as the ability to establish vision and direction, to influence and align others towards a common purpose, and to empower and inspire people to achieve success. There are many theories of leadership, and the subject can be approached in a variety of ways. One simple approach to understanding different leadership styles is the comparison of transactional leaders and transformational leaders. Transactional leaders ensure that requirements are agreed and that the rewards and penalties for achievement, or lack of it, are understood. It is an exchange process to do with setting objectives and plans. Do this and you will be rewarded thus. In contrast, transformational leaders do everything possible to help people succeed in their own right and become leaders themselves. They help those people to transform themselves and achieve more than was intended or even thought possible. How a project team leader can influence team performance. By definition, the project environment is one of change. New teams come together to achieve objectives, and are disbanded when the work is complete. As a consequence, the project manager should focus on different aspects of leadership throughout the project life cycle, and set the pace accordingly. Early phases may require expertise in influencing stakeholders and creating vision, and need a more transactional style with the project team. As the work progresses, the leadership focus shifts to maintaining momentum, responding to change and applying a more transformational approach. The position of leader is granted by followers, who make the decision to follow. That decision will be influenced by the leader using an appropriate style of leadership that takes account of both the situation and the readiness of people to follow. Team members' willingness to follow will vary according to their levels of motivation and ability, as well as their loyalties and priorities, and the context of the situation. Challenges to a project manager when developing and leading a project team. Leadership is needed at all levels within a project-based setting. The sponsor communicates the vision to the project team, sets high-level expectations, involves team members in decisions and provides actionable feedback. The project manager should fully understand how to get the best out of each person, and should provide direction and support for them. No team members share responsibilities and work collaboratively. All leaders must provide timely and constructive feedback, and also be receptive to feedback provided to them by members of the team. Leaders need to adapt their style and approach to the needs of the team and the work that needs to be accomplished. This is called situational leadership. Figure 2.3.4. 1 shows the factors that influence leadership styles and the varying styles that can be adopted in the situational leadership model. There are some situations when the leader needs to be directive, for example, to address an issue that threatens the achievement of objectives. Figure 2.3.4.1 Factors that contribute to variance in leadership style. A mentoring or coaching style is appropriate when there is time to focus on development of the team as well as goal achievement. For much of the time, when the team is established and working well, the leader delegates responsibility for achieving activities to team members, only intervening if evidence arises to suggest that performance is not to agreed expectations. Leadership in a project context is usually performed with limits on the leader's power, requiring them to adopt a style that builds team and wider stakeholder commitment. Situational leadership provides choices of leadership style. Is there a best choice? The answer is a qualified yes, providing that the leader takes account of 2 aspects. First, the criticality of the situation. The more critical the situation, the more the leader may have to exert control and adopt a no-directing style. Communication between leader and team is short, sharp and commanding. Second, the skills and motivation of the team members. The greater the team's abilities, the more the leader can empower the team to complete tasks, perhaps adopting a more delegating style. The main challenge for a leader in considering a situational leadership approach is having a good background knowledge of the individual team members' skill levels and some insight into their levels of motivation. In addition, they need to have a developed degree of situational awareness to make quick, reliable assessments of the nature of the situation and implications of any delays in response. In general, teamwork has benefits to both the individual team members themselves and any organization seeking to deliver multiple projects and programs. Teamwork creates collaboration in the workplace, which can result in more flexible work schedules, particularly when team members are cross-trained to cover for each other's skills and strengths. It's also important to note that flexible working is increasingly being considered as a way to help improve productivity and develop a better work-life balance for employees. Another challenge for the project manager is the responsibility for delivering the intended outputs and outcomes, when they may have had little say about who joins the team, and whether the chosen team members have the right skills and attributes. This makes the ability of the project manager to develop and lead teams of vital importance. The simplest project has people who take on the roles of sponsor, project manager and team members, even if they're part-time roles, as part of a wider job. Iterative and agile projects may involve small dedicated teams including a product owner or on-site customer. As projects get larger, the project manager role is typically supported by specialists in aspects of project-based working, for example, schedulers, null-cost estimators, risk facilitators, communication specialists or business change leaders. Some team members may span multiple organizations, for example, suppliers, partners or customer-client staff, as members of the deployment team. Additional skills to develop and lead the team across organizational and cultural boundaries are needed in this situation. Some teams are co-located in the same geographic area. Where this is possible, there are distinct benefits from the ability to share a physical space, where plans and progress can be visualized, and close working relationships can be developed. How a project manager can use models to assist team development. For teams to be effective, it is important that team members are understood as individuals in terms of their capabilities, their preferences, their cultural norms and expectations, and the social dynamics between team members. By paying attention to team development, project managers can create positive working cultures that enable high performance of the team and an increased chance of success. As soon as a team forms, it is unlikely, at that stage, to achieve the performance levels that match the individual capabilities of the group members. Sociological researcher Bruce Tuckman observed that teams will typically go through different stages of maturity over time, before reaching their optimum performance levels. The Tuckman model, Tuckman, 1977, identified 5 stages a team will progress through, from when the team is formed to when the team is disbanded. An important aspect of this model is that the team does not pass through these stages naturally. Progress through each stage is facilitated by effective leadership actions. The team leader has a key role in helping the team move through these stages as efficiently as possible and readdressing stages as new team members join or others leave. The Tuckman model is shown in action in Figure 2.3.4.2, and outlines the stages as forming null. This is the first point of contact that team members have in this project context. Their knowledge of the project or environmental circumstances is very limited. Team members are naturally guarded. At this stage, the leader will ensure that they communicate clear goals and objectives, creating an inclusive and coordinated environment. Null storming. The team members now start to understand that they will be unable to achieve goals on their own and that cooperation is expected. It is at this stage where individual personalities start to influence how team members interact with each other. The biggest issue at this stage is conflict created through competition and disagreements about how to achieve project objectives. If conflict is not managed, it can cause the team to reverse to forming, with team members closing down and communication being reduced. The leader has a strong role to ensure differences are aired, and conflict is resolved in a positive way. Norming: if conflict is resolved successfully, the team members start to become much more cooperative with each other, as they start to focus on the tasks required to achieve objectives. This stage is very much felt by the team, as a need for balance. Team cohesion is important but not to the detriment of getting the work done. The leadership priority at this stage is to provide processes, clear roles and responsibilities, and timely feedback. Performing: the team is now delivering the targeted performance. Creative problem solving and motivation are at their highest levels. The leader will ensure performance is maintained by promoting openness, honesty and the development of trusting relationships. Now that the team has experienced achievement, it is likely that this will continue. However, it can't be taken for granted. The team could actually revert to one of the earlier stages, usually in response to change, for example, due to team members leaving and new people joining, or changing the scope of the tasks. The degree of reversal depends on the scale of the change but also on the strength of the leader. Strong leadership means that with even a large-scale change, the team may only revert to norming for a short time before returning to performing. The opposite is also true. For example, under weak leadership, a small change can cause the team to completely collapse, returning to forming. Adjourning: this was a stage that Tuckman identified several years after developing the original four-stage model. This stage acknowledges the efforts of the leader in preparing team members for the end of one team and the start of a new team in the future. Providing feedback on individual performance, liaising with functional management, and recognizing achievement are just some of the leadership tasks necessary at this stage, all with the aim of ensuring that team members are transitioned effectively back into the business or their organization. Figure 2.3.4.2 Stages of team development and leadership actions necessary to reach performance. The establishment of a team will initially involve the selection of individuals based on their skills, behaviors and attitudes. When people with complementary skills and behaviors are committed to a common objective and method of working, it is likely that they will be able to reach performing within a reasonable time, even with moderate leadership. Another factor that has also been studied is the influence of different personalities working together and how they might have an effect on team working. Cambridge psychologist Meredith Belbin produced a model to show how different personalities work together to create an effective team. Belbin described 9 social roles. Belbin, 2010, that individuals adopt and the strengths and weaknesses of each. Within a team, one person's strengths balance another's weaknesses. Individuals will perform better in a team context if they are given a role that plays to their strengths. The 9 team roles are equally grouped into 3 clusters: action, social and thinking, as shown in Figure 2.3.4.3. Figure 2.3.4.3 Belbin's 9 social roles. Source: www.belbin.com. Action: the shaper will provide the necessary drive to ensure that the team keeps moving, and does not lose focus or momentum. The implementer will plan a workable strategy, and carry it out as efficiently as possible. Most effectively used at the end of tasks to polish and scrutinize the work for errors, the completer finisher will subject output to the highest standards of quality control. Social: the resource investigator uses their inquisitive nature to find ideas to bring back to the team, and is excellent at communicating from the project to stakeholders. The team worker is the diplomat of the team, helping the team to gel, using their versatility to identify the work required and complete it on behalf of the team. The coordinator's role is necessary to focus on the team's objectives, draw out team members and delegate work appropriately. Thinking: when the team is faced with obstacles, and needs to be highly creative and good at solving problems in unconventional ways, the plant provides the necessary support to allow the team to function well in these circumstances. The monitor evaluator provides a logical eye, making impartial judgments where required, and weighs up the team's options in a dispassionate way. When the team requires in-depth knowledge in key areas, the specialist is a member of the team, who has distinct strengths in every narrow area. Think about a team you are a member of now or have been in the past. Write down 5 things that you think make it a good team and/or 5 things that could be improved to make the team function better. Consider also the role of the leader in facilitating team spirit. Read about the world of project management. Many of the traditional team assessment models assume that the team members will be working together and will have regular contact with each other. Current communication technology now allows teams to be apart from each other and still perform as a